Hello everyone. Today is going to be a little bit more of a laid back video. There's not going to be a lot of editing going on. Today we're just ranking some Marvel movies. This is kind of a placeholder video, I can't lie. Right now I'm finishing up the Iron Claw video essay, which turned out to be a much bigger video than I anticipated. But it is coming soon and I'm so excited to share it with you all. But I decided, why not? Let's make a MCU ranking tier list. Now there's a couple of things I want to mention before I fully get into this tier list. I have not rewatched any movies for this tier list. I am going purely based off either memory or genuine thoughts on each of these movies. This video is purely out of the blue. If you're looking for a comprehensive and fully deep dive type of list, this is not it. I'm telling you right now. In fact, I'm gonna add a row below. Have not watched. Because there's a lot of these that I haven't watched. Especially the TV shows. And some of the more side projects by Marvel I haven't watched. Like, this entire, pretty much nearly this entire row. Actually, this entire row down here I haven't watched. So, I have watched most of the movies. I have watched the important ones, I think. And I've been mostly keeping up with it. I mean, post-Endgame was kind of hard to keep up with it because there was a lot of complications and all these TV shows coming out. It was really hard to keep up with. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I feel like I have pretty good and strong opinions about each of these movies. The ones that I have watched. There's only a few that I've missed. And there's only a few that I vaguely remember. Because I've only watched them once when I was a kid or something like that, or I just haven't rewatched it. There's a lot of these movies and a lot of them don't really interest me to rewatch them, if that makes sense. Thank you to Luigi Funiciello for making this tier list. I don't know if there is a better one, but we'll see. And it seems like we're starting off with Iron Man. I really think that this movie is pretty great. I love Tony Stark as Iron Man. I don't think there's another person that could play Iron Man, really. If they do manage to find someone who can play Iron Man better than him or on par with him, I will be very surprised. There probably is someone out there, but I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. So, Iron Man for me is a really great and kind of humble beginning for the MCU. It has a lot of charm, it has a lot of heart to it. It's a really memorable film, a great origin story. It's really just the quintessential Marvel movie. Good guy is in a rut, he gets out of it, origin story. He becomes this hero and he defeats the villain. It's pretty much, you can call it cookie cutter, but I mean, it's the beginning. It's the very, very beginning. You can't really blame it for that. And I think that's the charm. I think that's the charm of this, is that it is cookie cutter and it is a very humble beginning to what expands into something huge. I don't know if back then they were thinking that this was going to be something insane, or if these movies were going to completely flop. And that was a complete possibility that could happen. That was very much a possibility that could happen. And I think they pretty much nailed it for a first try at a cinematic universe and a first try at these major big budget superhero movies. So I am comfortable with putting it at either A or B, because you gotta think about this contextually too. I'm gonna be ranking these, and that means, let's say I put the Incredible Hulk at the same tier as Iron Man, but I think it is in that same vein, I'm going to start to think about things comparatively. I'm not going to want to put Iron Man in the same tier as the Incredible Hulk, as I'm about to talk about. Which I wouldn't, but I'm just using it as an example. But I think this list will shift over time, is what I'm saying. So right now, I'm just going to put it at A. I think that's a solid spot for a pretty good, pretty memorable origin story. So now we move on to the Incredible Hulk, which is not that good of an origin story and is one of the biggest waste of actors I've ever seen. I mean, I love Edward Norton. I love him in everything he's in. I think he enhances everything he's in. But the Incredible Hulk somehow underutilizes him, even though he is the best part of this movie. He can't hold this script together, and I really think this movie is, once again, cookie cutter, but not in a charming way like Iron Man is. It really is like the most lazy way to introduce this hero. I don't think there's much that's memorable about this film. I don't think there's anything that people can take away from it, really. The villain was lackluster. The hero himself was not introduced very well, and it's no wonder that they didn't bring this Hulk back, because he's just not that compelling in my opinion, and there's not really much going for this film, I don't think. Speaking of, I don't think we need an E tier. I think I'll be fine with just C, D, and F for the lower half of these tiers. I'm gonna put this in a D. I'm gonna put this at D tier. I don't think it's a terrible film. I think for a film to be at F tier, it actually has to be like utter dog shit, like horrible. But I don't have huge, strong, passionate opinions about this film, and I don't think the film itself takes enough time for you to build those opinions. So I'm going to put it at just below average, pretty bad at D. Iron Man 2, however, is very, very disappointing in my opinion. I think this movie is one of the least memorable Marvel movies there is out there. I almost remember nothing about this movie besides maybe the final act and the villain and the suit up scene at the beginning. There's a lot of meandering in this movie. It tries to balance Tony's new character arc, or rather his extended character arc, and introducing Whiplash as a villain, while also introducing multiple other characters that I don't think they needed. I think they felt the need to rush this to introduce all these characters because they saw the success of Iron Man and they're like, oh, we can build this universe, but I think you gotta do it bit by bit. I really don't think introducing so many characters in this movie like I remember them being introduced, I really don't think it was necessary. And the villain is really lackluster. It doesn't have that much charm to it from what I remember. And I don't think this is what I'm looking for in a Marvel movie. It really is underwhelming. It's underwhelming as a Marvel movie. Simple. It's as simple as that. So I think I'm gonna put it. I'm comfortable with putting it above the Hulk. I want to rank these as in, like, if it's at the beginning, it's the best of that tier, and if it's dead last, it's the worst of that specific tier. I wanna do that because I like it when tier lists do that. So I'm gonna do that. Thor is one of the only movies that I have fallen asleep during. I think the only movie. I think I'm misremembering one, but as far as I remember, this is the only movie I have ever fallen asleep during. I have since rewatched it, of course, and there are good things about this film. It's not all bad, but it's pretty boring in my opinion. I think what saves this movie is the little bit of comedy and building the character of Loki. I like the sort of fish out of water type of comedy that this film has. It's pretty funny, from what I remember, and I've always loved Tom Hiddleston, if I'm remembering his name correctly. I've always loved his character as Loki. I think he plays him great. I think, again, I don't know if there's any other actor that could play Loki as great as him. And I don't think they introduced Chris Hemsworth as Thor very well. He's very one note in this movie, which might have been on purpose, but doesn't necessarily mean that I have to like it if it's on purpose. He's very boring. He's a very boring hero in this movie. And but besides the comedy, I don't really find much enjoyment out of the film itself. Once again, I fell asleep during this. I might have been a child, but I did fall asleep during this movie, which says a lot because I never fall asleep during movies, even if it's a very, very boring movie. I think Asgard looks pretty cool. I think actually Asgard looks great. But I don't know if all the world building was done necessarily too well. And Natalie Portman's character I've always found to be kind of forgettable and not that great. I just I don't really remember Natalie Portman's character to be too amazing. So I think I'm gonna put it in a C tier because there are redeeming points about it. It introduced Loki pretty well. The main hero, Thor, isn't that great in this movie. I think the comedy is pretty great, and Asgard looks cool, which is enough to put it above Iron Man 2 and The Incredible Hulk, in my opinion, because these movies have almost nothing going for them, I think. Captain America, the First Avenger. This is another pretty good origin story. I really like how nerdy and sort of dorky they made Captain America. That's kind of how I like my heroes. I like them to have some sort of dorkiness. Because this is literally a guy representing America with a shield that has the American flag on it, or something to represent the American flag. And I think that the filmmakers really knew that, and they made it. Sorry about that. They made it into a great origin story. I think Captain America, the First Avenger, has a lot going for it. I forgot who plays Red Skull. I really forgot who plays Red Skull. Wow. But I think he was great. Red Skull was a really good villain. I feel like he was utilized just enough, and he was just present enough to where the movie had time for both Captain America and Bucky's relationship, and also Red Skull as a villain. I think the introduction of Bucky is pretty great. There's a lot of charm to this film. There's a lot of heart. It's a cool introduction story, cool origin story, but I don't think it's to the heights of Iron Man. I think it was a good idea to introduce Captain America after Iron Man, because Iron Man has become the face of Marvel at this point. Him, along with probably Spider-Man, are some of the most recognizable heroes to the general public. And I think it was a really great idea to sort of set up the Avengers a little more with introducing Captain America afterwards. But yeah, that's about all I have to say for that film. It's pretty solid. Now we get to the culmination of this first quarter of Marvel, the MCU. The Avengers is really good. I like it. I like it a lot. And I think the iconic battle in New York kind of cements this movie in MCU history, but also film history, because it was, as far as I know, the first time like a bunch of iconic heroes came together for this sort of movie theater experience and event that Marvel is sort of known for now with their Avengers movies. Take like Avengers Infinity War or Endgame, for example. Those were events to go to the cinemas for. Like, people bought those tickets and filled up those theaters to see all of these heroes and fan favorite characters come together. And for this being the first effort of doing that and succeeding, I think it's really great. I love it whenever any of these Avengers movies comes out, because it cements a point in current film status in a way. And I know a lot of people trash on Marvel movies for kind of ruining theater experiences and whatnot, but you can't deny that these are straight up events that fill up theaters. And for that purpose alone, I think I have to put it in S tier, even though I do have some minor gripes with the movie. Like, I feel the first half isn't really all that memorable, and it's really not all that great. I think once you get to the actual team up, it's really great, and I think, or rather I wish that they would have gotten to the point a little faster. Not to say that I want this movie to be all action, but if you are going to have setup, make it a little more intriguing, because I really do not remember the first half of this film, and whenever I play it, I'm like, oh shit, there's this whole section that I completely forgot about that I don't want to watch. Wow. And that might be enough to bring it down to A tier, but for the pure principle, I think I'm gonna have to put it in S tier. I think I'm just gonna have to. Iron Man 3. I like this movie. I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's amazing either. I think it's good. It's solid. It's a solid Iron Man movie and a solid superhero movie, and a great movie to end the Iron Man trilogy on. They really started strong and ended strong with Iron Man 1, 2, and 3. I love how much of a low point Tony gets to in this film. Tony gets to a very low point, and he comes back from that amazingly. And I love superhero movies like that, where they're at a slope, a downward slope in their life, but then they come back, and they don't do it alone, which is the most important part. I always love stories like that. And yes, the Mandarin is underutilized, but I don't think it's a huge deal. Honestly, I really don't think it's that huge of a deal. And Killian wasn't a super memorable or compelling antagonist, but I think this movie is focusing a lot more on Iron Man himself rather than the villains that he's facing. And I think they do that very well, and they portray that message very well. I love all the suits that he assembles and all the suits going to him. I love that concept. I love that for Iron Man. And it's really creative, and it was pretty new at the time, and I like this movie. I don't love it, but I like it, and I think I'm gonna put it at B tier for now. Thor: The Dark World. I think this will be our first F tier, because there is literally nothing about this movie that I fondly remember. This film was literally like it's like they just made this just to drop it. Just because all of the OG heroes were getting sequels, they were like, let's bring in the Dark Elves in the most boring way possible. So I really don't have much to say about this, and I have strong opinions about it, but I I don't have much to say about it either, because the movie's not giving me much. This is an ugly movie, this is a boring movie, and Thor is even less of a compelling character, and his romance with Natalie Portman's character is even less compelling than it was in Thor. It's just a bad movie. I really think it's a bad movie. And it's the MCU up until this point's first truly bad movie. But then after that, it comes Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and I really think this is great. I think this is one of the best MCU movies in general. They really struck lightning here. Like, I love this movie. There is such great spy thriller type of action. The Winter Soldier is such a great antagonist, and I love the overwhelming threat and looming threat that is Hydra all throughout this movie. I love Captain America's suit. I love the way his character evolves throughout the movie, seeing his best friend, who he thought he was dead, is actually alive and is coming to kill him. I really think they nailed it with this movie, and I think it's better than the first Captain America movie. It's better than Iron Man, and it is certainly better than the Avengers. It is nearly a flawless superhero sequel, and I don't know where else to put it besides S tier. You really can't go wrong with the Winter Soldier. Guardians of the Galaxy. I really like this team. Like, the Guardians have my heart. This is a great origin story movie, and one of the first like sort of misfit type of teams that the MCU had. I think the humor has aged pretty well. I still laugh at every James Gunn movie at some point, but this is a really great origin story. I think the way this film blooms and the way its plot threads go together is really great. I think the slow little bonding moments that every single one of the Guardians have really serves to build this team together in a way that I don't think any other team has really had, besides maybe one. I'm not crazy about the antagonist, but you're not supposed to be. He's kind of just bad guy, wants to kill the good guys, wants to rule planets, wants to rule the universe, whatever. I mean, he's literally an apprentice to Thanos. Like, he's a nobody, but you're supposed to care about the team, and even the villain is a way into that. I love the music of this film. Everyone does. The music of this film is great. The music of all the Guardians films are great. And I think this is a really solid origin story. Although I don't love it enough to put it in S tier. Because I think, I mean, there's a little bit of a spoiler, but I think the Guardians trilogy gets better with each movie in a certain degree. To a certain degree, sorry. And I think this film is better than Iron Man, for sure. I'm putting Guardians of the Galaxy at A. Avengers: Age of Ultron. I think this is like a huge black sheep in the Avengers movies. It's a little forgettable, honestly. I do think they kind of wasted Ultron as a villain. I don't think he was that much of a threat, honestly. This film kind of looks ugly. This film does look ugly. I don't like the way this film is shot, and I don't like the color correction. I mean, even you can see even in the poster here, it's super gray. Like, the only colors I could see are Iron Man's suit and like Hulk's greenery. I don't think this is a great looking movie. I don't think the pacing of this movie is kind of weird. Ultron as a villain, he has a great voice, by the way. I've always loved Ultron's voice, but I don't think they utilized him correctly, and I think they utilized him too early, actually. I do like the Avengers themselves in this movie. I like Tony's sort of little character arc where he kind of has to accept that this thing he's created is also what's destroying the planet at the moment, and the rest of the Avengers have to deal with that too. Like, he kind of drags everybody into it because it's his creation. I think this film checks off all the boxes but doesn't really excel at anything. I think this is an okay Avengers movie at best. Yeah, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy about Age of Ultron. I could comfortably put it at C above. Actually, no, I can't put it above Captain America. I'm putting it at B. Under Iron Man 3 for sure, but above Captain America. Ant-Man is a character that starts off really weak, in my opinion, and this is the only Ant-Man movie I've watched. I'm gonna say that right now, because none of the other Ant-Man movies really interested me, and I don't think Ant-Man really deserved the trilogy. He's such a side character to me, and he has a huge role in the Avengers movies, and he has a huge role in the MCU overall, but I don't know if he deserved to have 3 entire movies about him, and of course the Wasp. But I think this movie is one of the worst origin stories in the MCU. Yellow Jacket was okay. He was cool looking, but he really wasn't all that. This movie really isn't all that. It's pretty, again, cookie cutter, kind of boring. You could just have this on and not really think about it. This is such a background movie. It's insane. I kind of have to try to pay attention to this movie, and the film doesn't really give me a reason to. I think I've always thought Ant-Man's suit in the MCU is pretty ugly. I don't like his suit. I don't like his suit. His mask is whatever, but I don't like his suit. Actually, the mask is pretty okay. It's not bad, but I don't like his suit. I never have. I think it's a misstep. It's a misstep of a character for sure. And if they were gonna make a trilogy about him, I think he deserved the Thor treatment, where they kind of just completely revamped the character for a film, or 2 films rather, and they made him much better. But I'll talk about that when we get to those movies. But for now, I think I'm gonna put Ant-Man at a comfortable C. It's pretty like 5 out of 10, like at most. And I'm comfortable with putting it below Thor. Captain America Civil War. This is an Avengers movie. This is not a Captain America movie. This is essentially another Avengers movie. Obviously, this movie is great. For the most part, it does its job correctly, and it tells its story pretty well. I think the actual Captain America versus Iron Man feud is done really well, and Baron Zemo being in the background kind of pulling the strings and making Bucky look like a terrible person is really, really good. I kind of wish he had a bigger role to play in the overall MCU, because Zemo was actually played really well by, I forgot his name, but overall I think this movie did its job, and I think it got people in those seats for sure. The marketing for this film was insane, but yeah, there's not much you can really say about this rather than it's really, really good. The airport fight scene is iconic. This introduced Spider-Man into the MCU. We can't forget that. Spider-Man and all of his CGI suit glory. Yeah, this is great. This is a great movie, and I am comfortable with putting it at almost S tier. But I think I like these two a little more. I think I like the Winter Soldier and the Avengers a little more. The Civil War is obviously super hype. It's such a hype movie. But I think I like the Winter Soldier a bit more. Doctor Strange. The actual Doctor Strange parts of this film are pretty great, but I think everything else is really whatever. Like, it's super forgettable, and the villain of this movie is super forgettable. He is like the most whatever villain, like, actually. But I think Benedict Cumberbatch is once again a perfect casting for Doctor Strange. He is amazing as this character, and I always thought he has been. This is a pretty solid origin story. I like how much of a low point Stephen Strange gets to before he becomes Doctor Strange, and his denial and his sort of acceptance into his new world, into his new life. He came from being this really douchey doctor, rich doctor, to essentially losing what made him all that money in the first place, and he became this amazing hero. I think that part of it is great, but I don't really love the villain. I can put this in B tier, because I think this is overall pretty good. I think I can put it below Captain America 1 for sure. Guardians Volume 2. I love this film. And I don't understand why people aren't crazier about it. I love this film in all its unfocused glory, but it's such a thrill. It's such a ride. Really, this film is a ride. The villain is great. Kurt Russell was a great choice to play Ego. I really hated him. I love him as Ego, and I love how Star-Lord's character arc progresses throughout this movie. I love the introduction of Nebula. Nebula's introduction is really great, and her and Gamora's sort of rivalry, how that goes about. But yeah, I'm comfortable with placing this also at A tier, above Guardians 1, but not above Civil War. I think Guardians really gets better with every movie. I think this film has a bunch of charm to it, and I love the sort of familial and fatherhood sort of themes to it, and the sort of never meet your heroes type of thing. If you can take that away from the movie, even. But yeah, it's such a ride of a movie. It's such a thrill. I really love it. I love it. Spider-Man Homecoming. I really like Michael Keaton as the Vulture. I think he did amazing, and I love him being an actual villain. I think this was an okay origin. Sorry, it's not even an origin story. It kind of is, but not really. I think this was okay. I don't think it was amazing. I think it aged pretty well, and a lot of people received it pretty poorly when it came out, but I think it's okay. I don't think it's too bad. Seeing the twist that Vulture is his crush's dad was amazing. I love that point in the film. I like this Spider-Man movie. I don't love it, but I like it. I like it enough to put it in B tier. Above, I wouldn't put it above Iron Man 3. I'm gonna put it below Iron Man 3. It's memorable enough, and it's a good addition. I think it was necessary, but I just think some things could have been done better. Thor Ragnarok. Obviously, this movie is amazing. This completely revamps the character of Thor in the MCU in such a great way. I actually felt that Thor was badass. I actually rooted for Thor, and I didn't feel like he was some otherworldly being who has no emotions. I actually felt for this character, and I really liked everything he went through in this movie. I love how they used the Hulk during this, even though it kind of was the start of the Hulk being not the Hulk anymore. I love Hela. Hela was a great villain. Hela was a really great villain. Taika Waititi did a great job with this, although We know lightning doesn't strike twice. This was a great effort. This was a great effort to sort of revamp Thor, and I'm comfortable with putting this. Do I do it? I'm putting it above Civil War for sure. But I don't know if I could put it in S tier. I think I'm gonna put it in A tier. I really like this movie. Black Panther. I think this is a super compelling origin story. I love Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace, as T'Challa, and Michael B. Jordan is amazing in this movie as well. Ryan Coogler is amazing at directing. Ryan Coogler does a great job at capturing his vision for this film. I think he does that amazingly in all of his movies, as I mentioned in my Sinners video, if you want to go check that out. But yeah, Black Panther was definitely a moment in MCU history, and it's a good movie. It's just a good movie. It's a really good movie, actually. I think I can comfortably put it in A tier. I would put it above Iron Man quality-wise, and I would put it above Guardians 1. I wouldn't put it above Guardians 2, though. So we're going to place it right there. And now comes what I think might be my favorite MCU movie. Avengers Infinity War. I don't think literally any other film in history has had this much hype behind it, other than probably Endgame. And there has been no other moment this big in cinema history. Like these two films, Infinity War and Endgame, ignore what's in between. These were moments. I'm gonna put them two together. I'm gonna rank these two together. These were huge moments, and Infinity War was ballsy. Infinity War was so ballsy, and I felt the amount of overwhelming power that Thanos gained during this film. I felt it, and I love that the MCU had an actual compelling villain that was also ready to destroy everything. And I love that he won at the end of this film. He got what he wanted at the end of this film. Half of the universe went away. They blipped. And I don't think it was just for theater reactions. I think that for what this movie is trying to say, and well, not what it's trying to say, but what it's portraying rather, is a subversion of expectations to what you would expect to see in an Avengers movie, which is all the Avengers kicking ass and beating this villain, but every single member does the absolute most they can to defeat Thanos, and they do not end up doing it. It is actually incredible, because this is Thanos' movie. Thanos is the main character, and everyone else is trying to destroy him. We see constantly how Thanos' point of view is throughout this movie. And that 3-hour runtime is justified. There's actually little to no meandering during this film, surprisingly. And it's a super tight story about Thanos. About Thanos and his journey to get what he wants, to get the Infinity Gauntlet and all of the stones. I simply love this movie, and I think it was successful, overwhelmingly successful, and popular for a reason. I really think they nailed it with Infinity War, and I'm very comfortable with putting it at the top of S tier. And Endgame was a film that I hated at first. When I first saw this, I really didn't like the direction they went in. I thought the time travel was something that was going to happen, that was bound to happen, just based on the ending of Infinity War. But I didn't think it was done in the best way, and like I said with Infinity War, there was little to no meandering during that movie. I thought there was a lot of meandering with Endgame, and I thought it was a lot less focused than Infinity War. I mean, it has a central goal: go back in time and defeat Thanos, get all the stones and defeat him. But where Infinity War was Thanos' movie, I think Endgame is a true Avengers movie of them coming back from one of the biggest losses you can think of. I have since rewatched it, and I like this film more. I like this more on a rewatch for sure. I think this is a great way to sort of end the saga. Not sort of, actually end the Infinity Gauntlet saga of the MCU. I thought it was set up really well throughout all those post-credit scenes. And I think Thanos finally being defeated in this movie and the final set piece, the final battle, is really great. I love the spectacle of the final battle. I've always loved the scene where Captain America is down, like completely defeated, but he's ready to fight this army of aliens with a broken shield, and behind them comes a portal, multiple portals of everyone he knows and everyone who is going to help him in this fight. It was such a hopeful moment and such a great moment in the theater, but also like just a great moment in general. It's not just for audience reactions. If it just was for audience reactions, it wouldn't have felt as compelling, I think, because it would have shown like the Russo brothers wanted to do this. Everything here was completely intentional, and it's not all amazing, I don't think. I still am not huge about how the time travel elements were handled in this film and how those scenes went about. I think there's a lot of jokes in this movie that fall flat. I don't love the time travel suits. Even though, like, I mean, yeah, they make sense. I don't love the time travel suits. But I think the fact that they were about to lose again, but their plan ended up working in the end, and obviously the iconic death of Tony Stark here is great. Is great. Like, the snap of his fingers, I am Iron Man. Like, it's instantly iconic. Instantly iconic. It's just as iconic as the moment when Thanos actually snapped his fingers in Infinity War and won. And I also forgot to mention Thor's character in Infinity War, because holy shit, he was the most badass character of that movie. And every single time I watch the scene where he's yelling, "Bring me Thanos, bring me Thanos," and his fucking eyes light up with lightning, and he like he's just the best in that movie. And that is one of the biggest tragedies of Endgame, is how they ruined Thor. I think they could have had him being depressed and sort of feel guilty and pessimistic a lot better. I think he just kind of becomes a joke by the time this film rolls around. And I just, there's too many little flaws with this movie, too many irks I have with it to put it in S tier. No, that's not fair. That's not fair. Because if I said for the Avengers that I don't like the first half of it, but I still put it in S tier just because it was a moment, I have to put Endgame in S tier. And I think I'll put it above Avengers. Again, I probably wouldn't put it in S tier, but off of pure principle and out of pure like consistency in my points, I think I'm gonna put it in S tier for now. I have never watched Ant-Man and the Wasp because I was simply not interested in watching this movie. So we're just gonna move on. I've never watched Captain Marvel either because from what I saw of her character, she didn't really look that interesting to me, and I think I just never got around to it. But I have heard some pretty awful things about Captain Marvel, but I have no opinions on it as I haven't watched it. Spider-Man Far From Home, I think this was a huge misstep. I think they wasted Mysterio as a character, although I love Jake Gyllenhaal as him, and what he was given, he did a great job with. I think the script itself really didn't do Mysterio justice. I love Mysterio as a villain in all of Spider-Man media, and I like that they made him like a silly sort of guy, like he's kind of just comedically evil, villain of the week sort of thing, because that's what Mysterio always has been. But I don't like this as a Spider-Man movie. It feels weird to not have a Spider-Man film take place in New York, even though that's kind of the point. Again, just because it's the point doesn't mean I have to like it. I think there's too many missteps with this movie to really warrant it being even above Homecoming. I think there's some cool scenes. I like the fact that his identity gets revealed to everyone at the end. That was pretty cool, but I don't think there's much past that I love about this film. I think I'm gonna put it in C tier, honestly. I think I'm gonna put it in C tier. Yeah, that's where I'm putting Far From Home. At the top of C tier, to be fair, but I just don't think it's all that great of a Spider-Man movie. WandaVision. WandaVision. I think this was a pretty good show. This is one of the few Marvel movies. This is one of the few Marvel shows that I've watched fully, and it honestly kept grabbing my attention. I really liked this show. It was concise, it was tight, and then it got big at the end, but it didn't fumble the landing. I really thought this was pretty compelling, and I think Scarlet Witch and Vision are great in this. I like their relationship. I like how their relationship evolves and crumbles and evolves again, and everything that happens. I love the different sort of shifting cinematic styles that this series goes through. I don't necessarily like what it's setting up with, like what happens later with the Marvels and stuff, but it's good. It's good. I'm comfortable with putting it at. It's hard to rate TV shows and films in the same list, because they're two completely different forms of, well, not completely different, but they're two different forms of media with different standards and different budgeting, different pacing, literally different everything when it comes to story and how it's made. But if I had to rank it somewhere on this list, I think I would put it at the top of B tier. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a great little story, and that's that. I really enjoyed it, not gonna lie. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I've watched clips of this, but I've never watched the show myself. I think the clips that I have watched look pretty cool. Obviously, this tier isn't ranked, just in case. This tier isn't ranked, obviously. I think the clips that I have watched are pretty cool, but I haven't seen the show myself, so I can't say much about it, or say anything about it, really. Again, I haven't watched many of these shows. I haven't watched most of these shows, actually, and I haven't watched Loki either. I'm sorry. I know everyone loves Loki, and it probably is a great show. From what I've seen of it, it looks like a really well-made show. I love, for what I can say about it is that I love how it's shot. From what I've seen of it, I love the color grading of it. It looks really nice. It looks really crisp, And Tom Hiddleston, I just remembered his name, does really well from what I've seen. He gives a great performance from what I've seen and heard. We're not putting you in F. Sorry, my bad. Black Widow. Why did they make this movie? Like, this is the most useless film in all of the MCU, I think. I really do think so. I don't know why they made this film, honestly. I really don't. Other than maybe introducing Elena and I forgot what David Harbour's character is called. Damn, I forgot. But yeah, other than to introduce Florence Pugh and David Harbour's characters, I really don't think there's much purpose to this film. I'm putting it at D. I actually think it's probably worse than Iron Man 2. The action isn't that great for what is supposed to be a spiritual successor to the Winter Soldier in a way. I think the spy thriller elements aren't really there at all. And I think the action is pretty badly directed. And yeah, I really don't have much to say about it really, other than I didn't enjoy it, and it's probably gonna leave my mind within the next 5 years. What If? I've never seen it, but from what I've seen, it looks really cool. I love how it looks. It looks really nice. And that's all I can say about it, really. And I've never watched Shang-Chi either. From what I've heard, this movie is pretty cool. It's like a nice origin story for Shang-Chi, and it introduces him well. I've never really heard bad things about Shang-Chi. It probably is pretty solid. But yeah, once again, I've never watched it, and I can't say much about it. Eternals. I tried watching this movie. But I think there's too much going on, really, and I've tried to watch this movie, but I don't know, like, it doesn't grab me. It doesn't grab me. I think the film looks ugly. I think the enemies, sort of like the I forgot what they're called, but the sort of aliens that they fight are really ugly looking. I don't like their designs. And I guess the only thing this film has to offer is the celestial elements. But why is this team so huge? And why is this cast so random? I don't understand it. It feels like they just wanted to get together a big cast of characters without actually knowing what to do or how to make a film. But it really never grabs me. So I have to put it in have not watched, but from what I have watched, which I think is literally under an hour, I didn't like it, and it didn't grab me. And I'm not forced to watch it, obviously, so I never finished it. And it seems like I have to force myself to watch it. Hawkeye, I've heard really good things about this show. Once again, I've never watched it. I haven't watched most of these shows again. But I've heard good things about it. That's all I can say. And I hope that they did Jeremy Renner justice, because he's a pretty good actor. Spider-Man No Way Home. The public opinion about this film has really sort of twisted and turned throughout this film's aging. I think this is a great watchable Spider-Man film, and it is riddled with nostalgia, yes. And if you take away the nostalgia, you can't take away the nostalgia, because that is what this movie is. That is what it has to offer. This is the film for Spider-Man fans, literally comic book nerds and film and Marvel film nerds who want to see multiple Spider-Men on screen at the same time. This film was also a cinematic event, like how the Avengers movies were, to a slightly lower degree, but it was an event, and and theaters were very, 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 very loud when Andrew Garfield appeared on screen and when Tobey Maguire appeared on screen. I think Willem Dafoe ramps it up to 11 in this film as the Green Goblin. And all of the other villains they bring back are pretty great. What's his name? Alfred Molina, I think his name is, as Dr. Octopus. It does a great job too. I think this is a solid movie. I honestly think this is a solid movie. I myself have had like my ups and downs with how this film has aged. There was a point when I loved it, when I absolutely loved it. There was a point when I hated it. There was a point when I wasn't so crazy about it, but it was whatever. But right now, I like it a lot. I like it a lot, and I think I can put it at the bottom of A tier. That might be a little controversial. I'm not sure, but I don't think it's worthy of S tier. I don't think it's better than Iron Man. I don't think it's better than any of these. But I'm comfortable with putting it above these, if that makes sense. I really, really liked Moon Knight. Oscar Isaac is great in his role, and I want to see more from him. That's pretty much all I could say, because this series is solid in my opinion. It does have its goofy moments, and I kind of wish that they used his I forgot the name, but I kind of wish they used his other personality a little more. The one they show at the very end. I wish they used that a little more instead of just having it be a little tease. But I think it's a great series. I think it's a great, solid series. Would I put it above WandaVision? I don't think so. I am putting it above Iron Man 3 though. I think it's pretty solid. Multiverse of Madness. Now, everybody loves to hate this film. And understandably so, in my opinion. I can understand that sentiment of wanting to not like this film. This is, I believe, directed by Sam Raimi or produced, unless I'm thinking about another movie. I think this is directed by Sam Raimi though, and it is very, very Sam Raimi. With some not so great special effects from what I remember, and this film is kind of a mess. America being introduced, I believe that was her name. I loved all the stuff with Wanda herself and Doctor Strange, but I don't know if I love how they fleshed out or tried to flesh out America as a character. I love how this movie really hammed into all the multiverse stuff. I don't love how all of it was handled though. I think the Illuminati that they portrayed, and especially Reed Richards just dying, was pretty underwhelming and kind of disappointing. That could have been saved for an after credit scene if they really wanted to set like another group up, or set the entire Fantastic Four up if they wanted to. And I think if they weren't focused on Kang by this point, I think they could have actually teased Doctor Doom, which would have been pretty cool for this movie, considering it's like the ultimate multiverse movie. But yeah, I think it's okay. It's not amazing. It's more entertaining than Doctor Strange 1. I'll give it that. I think I'll put it above Captain America. No. Wait, I don't think I could put it in B tier. Never mind. I'll put it at the top of C tier. It's not bad by any means. It's not bad. I don't think it deserves all the hate that it gets. But I didn't fall in love with it. Miss Marvel, or Marvels? No, Miss Marvel. I haven't watched this, so I can't say anything about it, and I haven't even seen clips of it. I haven't heard opinions about it. I don't know if anyone watched this, but I haven't watched it. So, Thor: Love and Thunder. I believe I watched this once. I don't know if it was in tidbits or if it was in like full, but it was pretty forgettable, and I was really disappointed by it. And I am most of all disappointed by the fact that 2 Thor movies are in F tier, because this film offended me. I can't lie, this film offended me. They underutilized Christian Bale so hard. And his character could have been so sick if they actually gave a shit about him and actually wrote him as a compelling villain. But he's just not. And Christian Bale's actual acting is amazing because he's Christian Bale. But I don't know what Taika Waititi was. I believe he also directed this. I don't know what Taika Waititi was snorting in the studio when he made this. This could have been a great movie to once again bring Thor back into the limelight and bring him back into this great superhero and godly figure that is tormented, but he's powerful and badass. But it just doesn't. I really think this movie falls flat. Everything having to do with Jane, I've just been calling her Natalie Portman, I think, by this point, but everything to do with Jane, I think is her name, I'm pretty sure, is, again, I'm not interested in her character, and I don't think the MCU has done a great job at making me want to be interested in her character. I think this film wastes a lot of time. I don't think it's funny, which is the worst part about it, because it tries to be so funny, but I just don't think it's that funny of a movie. I don't think it's funny. I think a lot of the jokes fall super flat, and it's so forgettable. And for a movie that tries to look so stylized, it looks bland at the same time because it looks cheap. For some reason, this film just looks cheap to me, and it's ugly. This film is really ugly, and I actually like the black and white portions of when Gore is on screen, Christian Bale's character. But I think if the actual Thor parts were more of focus and sort of handled better, and I think they really needed to rewrite this entire fucking script, it could have been great. And we could have actually had the next big bad with Gore and Christian Bale's character. And that's the thing I was looking forward to the most. I love my good villains in these stories, as you can see by the S tier picks. But I also love my good protagonists, and this doesn't do either of those. But I'm gonna stop ranting about this movie because this video is getting already too long. Or not too long, but it's getting long. And I just don't think this film deserves the time of day to talk about it anymore. I Am Groot. I haven't watched it. It's probably pretty cute, but I haven't watched it. She-Hulk. I haven't watched it. I have no interest in watching it. And it seems like Marvel has no interest in expanding her character in other projects. Werewolf. I didn't even know this existed. And I have, again, nothing to say about it. Wakanda Forever. This came out at a time when I was kind of burnt out on Marvel movies, I believe, and I miss this. I haven't watched this. I haven't watched this for some reason. I've heard it's really good. Once again, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman, and I believe Ryan Coogler came back to direct this, which is awesome to see, amazing to see. But I haven't watched this, unfortunately. I will get around to it someday, though. The Christmas special of Guardians. I actually haven't watched this. It's probably, again, pretty cute. Pretty heartwarming, but I haven't watched it. Quantumania. Ant-Man Quantumania. I know the story beats that go on during this film. I haven't watched it. I don't want to watch it. Because, again, Ant-Man is like the least interesting Avenger to me. I like Paul Rudd, but I don't like Ant-Man. And I think they could have handled him in the MCU so much better, but I already got into that. I think King the Conqueror being set up in this movie, I believe he gets defeated in this movie, which is interesting, seeing as he was supposed to be the next Thanos, sort of. I think they probably didn't set him up very well. I've seen the after credit scene. It's kind of goofy, and I'm honestly glad they got rid of Jonathan Majors, because I really was not paying attention and I was not interested. I was not interested by this point. This was kind of a period where Marvel was dropping a lot of slop, a lot of content just to drop it, just like a lot of TV shows and shitty movies, and this was a point in time where Marvel had all the money in the world and nothing to lose. They knew they were going to make a shit ton of money out of all these movies, and people were going to go watch them, and people were going to subscribe to Disney Plus to watch these shows. They knew that. Disney knew that. Marvel knew that. Kevin Feige knew that. And this was, I think, a dark point in the MCU for sure, which is partly why I never watched these, aside from like Wakanda Forever, because I actually am interested in watching that, and Loki, but most of these are probably misses if I had to guess. Guardians 3, this is in contention with Infinity War for being my favorite MCU movie. I think this is a nearly perfect team-up movie and such a great send-off to these characters. James Gunn has delivered such a great trilogy with Guardians of the Galaxy, and I truly don't think we will ever see a team like this again. We kind of do with the Thunderbolts, or rather the New Avengers, but it's not something as hearty to this degree, and you don't have James Gunn directing the movie anymore. And I think Volume 3 is so good, dude. Like it really is like a toss-up between these two. It's a huge toss-up. Honestly, any of these could be first place depending on the day. But this list is a little bit favorites mixed with objective sort of views, like opinions mixed with quality of film, personal opinions. And I think this is one of the best superhero films ever made. Honestly, I love this movie front to back. I could rewatch this so many times. Please go watch this movie right now if you haven't watched it. Honestly, you don't even have to have watched any of the other Guardians movies. Like, Star-Lord's character arc is completed so perfectly. Like, honestly, and like all the tragedy that struck him like has it culminates so beautifully at the end. We get Rocket's character arc. This is essentially Rocket's movie, which is amazing to see, and what he becomes by the end of the film is also fucking great. Mantis and Drax are hilarious as always. This film is one of the funniest Marvel films out there. I just love this film. I love this film, and it holds a soft spot in my heart. I really love this film. So I'm putting it at second place for now, just for the sake of this list. Like, Infinity War honestly can't be beat, I don't think. But yeah, I'll put it in second place. Secret Invasion, I haven't watched this, but I've heard that literally everyone is a Skrull, so that's cool. I Am Groot, I guess season 2. I haven't watched this either. I didn't even know that they made a second season. Loki season 2, I haven't watched the first season, so I haven't watched the second season, but it looks pretty peak. The Marvels, I just realized I haven't watched any of the Brie Larson Marvel movies. It's not any personal gripes or any, like, I guess, shade against Brie Larson. The movies don't interest me. It's not about her or any of the cast that's surrounding her, or about the directors. Just the movies don't interest me, and this character doesn't interest me that much. So I haven't watched this movie. What if I guess this is season 2 as well. I haven't watched this either. Echo, I haven't watched that either. X-Men 97, I've watched like 1 or 2 episodes, and it was really fucking cool. I want to keep watching it, but I just haven't gotten around to it. X-Men... Deadpool and Wolverine. I really like this movie. I really like this movie. Seeing this in the theater was so great. I love the intro to this movie with Bye Bye Bye. It's instantly iconic. I love it. Ryan Reynolds does a great job here. And bringing Hugh Jackman back was amazing. And, like, some of the special effects in this movie are pretty lackluster. But I think this was a great end to the trilogy of Deadpool, and really sort of culminates Deadpool's story in a pretty cool way. I think this film is pretty funny. A lot of Deadpool jokes in his previous movies haven't aged that well, but I think from what I remember, this film was pretty funny, and I love the chemistry between him and Wolverine. The villain, I'm not too crazy about, but again, I don't think that's the point. And I don't mind not being crazy about the villain. I don't mind it as long as the hero is great, which they are. Obviously, all the cameos with Wesley Snipes and Channing Tatum are great. Yeah, this is a solid entry into the MCU, and I'm comfortable with putting it at A tier. I think, honestly, I know a lot of people aren't crazy about this movie, which is kind of insane to me. Like, I found this movie really entertaining, and I think I'll put it below Guardians 1 for now. I like the way this list is building up. It's kind of sad that there's 2 Thor movies at the very bottom, but that's just how it is. Agatha All Along, I watched a good majority of the show, but I didn't finish it. I liked most of it. I liked most of it. I liked going down the whole going down the witch's road. There is one character in here that I wasn't crazy about, that constantly threw quips, but they weren't really funny. And it kind of took me out of it a lot. I'm sure you guys know what character I'm talking about, but I don't remember their name off the bat. But yeah, I thought Agatha was really great as a character, and following her and sort of her witch crew was nice, and all of the trials sort of that they had to face. I don't know the actual ending to this show, but I think I don't know whether to rank this or not, honestly. I liked most of what I saw. It was pretty entertaining. It's not like the best show in TV history, but it was good. Although at a certain point the quips got a little too much and it tried to be a little too funny, and it kind of fell down for me. That's kind of why I started to not really have much interest in it. And that's kind of why I stopped watching it. But yeah, Agatha All Along. I'm gonna. No, actually, I can't rank it. I'm sorry, I can't. If I haven't finished it, I can't rank it. But from what I've seen, I would probably put it in the C tier. And from where I would guess the show goes, I would put it in C tier, because I got told the ending, but I don't remember the ending. What if season 3? Damn, there was a 3rd season. I didn't even know that. But yeah, obviously I haven't watched it. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, I believe this was called. I've seen a little bit of this, but for some reason I never finished it. I actually am interested in this show, and I like the animation style. I like the character designs. The character designs are really nice, and it's really charming. But I don't know why I haven't gone around to this. So we're gonna put this in have not watched. Captain America: Brave New World. Again, I started this, but I never finished it. I don't know why. I think if I give it another shot, I could probably pull through and go all the way through, but I never finished it. I don't know why. I didn't even get to see the Red Hulk, really. I've heard that this doesn't really set up Sam Wilson's Captain America too well, and I've heard that people would have preferred if they made this show into a movie rather than a show, and then have Brave New World be a show, or like have Brave New World be something else, or just be better. I don't know, but I've heard that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a great show, but could have made for a great movie as well. So I don't know how that would have played out. But yeah, for now I can't rank it. I'm sorry, I just haven't watched it. Daredevil Born Again, I haven't even watched the original Daredevil show. So I'm gonna put it in have not watched, but it looks pretty sick, and I've heard good things about it. Thunderbolts, aka the New Avengers. I was so pleasantly surprised by this movie. I really didn't know what to think going in, because this is such a random cast of characters for the MCU to just bring together. For the little asterisk in the title to be a placeholder for what's it called, the New Avengers, is pretty great. I love seeing that at the end. And I think Yelena is set up a lot better here than in Black Widow. Obviously Bucky Barnes is great. Yelena's father, I forget his name. Red Guardian, that's his name. David Harbour's character, Red Guardian. I think he's funny. He's a lot funnier in this than he was in Black Widow. Taskmaster dying off the bat was so satisfying because they wasted that character in Black Widow. And U.S. Agent is great too. I like him. I like his sort of gruely and flawed hero type of thing. And I forgot her name, but the woman who can turn invisible, not Invisible Woman, but the woman who can turn invisible. What is she called? Like Phase Shifter or something, or like World Shifter, something like that, or like Phase. Was her name just Phase? I don't remember. But yeah, even though she's like probably one of the most underutilized characters in the movie, she was a great addition to the team, I think. And Bob, oh my god, I was so surprised by the villain. I can't remember the actor's name off the top of my head, but he did a great job. He did a really great job as Sentry / the Void. And this film has a great message about depression and sort of being there for your friends, your loved ones, and everything. This is a great team-up movie. I really think this is a great team-up movie, and it was super surprising. So much so, I want to put it in A tier, honestly. I'm going to put it just below Civil War, I think. Yes, I think so. Thunderbolts was really great. I was so surprised by this again. Like, I had no expectations about Thunderbolts going in, honestly. But yeah, that's all. That's what I have to say about it. Ironheart, I haven't watched it, but I think this ends phase 4, phase 5. I think this ends phase 5. I haven't watched it, and I haven't heard anything about it, so I can't say anything. Fantastic Four, our most recent movie. I have watched this, and I was very underwhelmed by it. I have seen a lot of positive reception about this movie, but I really wasn't crazy about it. I thought this movie was super down the middle. Like I was so disappointed at how underwhelming this movie was. This movie is nearly 2 hours long, and it feels so short, but not in a good way. It feels like a bunch of episodes strung into one movie, like a little mini series, and it honestly feels like if they made it a mini series, it would have fleshed out a little better. But I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what they were thinking. Like, they had such a great recipe for an amazing team-up movie here. The Fantastic Four themselves are pretty great. I like Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards. I like the voice he puts on. I wasn't sure about it at first, but I like it. I like how nasally he sounds. I love I always forget his name. But I love him in The Bear, and I love him as the Thing. His voice grew on me. I like the voice. I like the voice. Joseph Quinn as Johnny is great. I think he matches the character really, really well. And oh my god, I always forget her name. Wow. But Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, she does a great job. She does a really, really great job acting as her. Although I did notice her American accent wasn't amazing. It was one of the few times during a movie where I actually like got pulled out of it, because I kind of noticed the British accent of Sue Storm's actress. I forget her name, but I noticed the British accent during some points, and it kind of took me out of it. I was like, wow, like that's the first time I think ever where a British actor has not replicated an American accent in a perfect way. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if I don't know. I didn't hear her fucking dialogue properly or something. But I really I honestly I heard her British accent slip out at certain points, and it really took me out of it. But apart from that, her actual acting was good. I liked it. And she's obviously a great addition, and her chemistry with the entire team, Johnny and Reed, is great. The problem I have with this film is Galactus. And the Silver Surfer was good. Julia Gardner, I believe is her name. Does great as the Silver Surfer. She was really good in Weapons too. I made a movie about that, if you want to go check that out. Galactus was so underused, bro. He literally walked, picked up a baby, and lost. Like, are we being dead ass? Are we being dead ass right now? The whole film was doing so good at setting up Galactus. Like, this film does an amazing job at setting up Galactus as being this like looming threat on the globe. Like, they literally put a timer on the movie, and Reed Richards gets more and more desperate with his plans foiling over and over again. But I just don't think they stuck the landing, man. I don't think they stuck the landing here. I really think the final act is a limp dick. It's a wet fart. It's a popped balloon. Like, it's not. It's a soggy biscuit. I don't like it. That brings this movie down so far down. That brings this movie so far down for me. I honestly am okay with putting it in C tier. I really thought this was super underwhelming, and the chemistry between the Fantastic Four themselves is not even enough to save this. I honestly think this is the best casting for the Fantastic Four that we've seen so far. And the actual team themselves, I think, has a good shot of being great in Avengers Doomsday. But the movie itself, the origin story, not the origin story, but the team up movie of them was just okay. It was just okay, and I'm not okay with that, because I wanted this movie to be great. I wanted us to have an amazing S tier level Fantastic Four movie for once, but we did not get that, in my opinion. Eyes of Wakanda, I haven't seen this. Marvel One Shots, I believe that says. I haven't seen this. I'm just gonna go through all these because I have not seen these. I actually didn't know they even made a Peggy Carter series. Is that Ghost Rider? That's not Ghost Rider. Is it an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Is that Ghost Rider? There's no way. Slingshot? I don't even know what that is. Daredevil? I know it's a sin that I haven't watched this, and I've heard it's really, really good, but I just haven't watched it. My bad, guys. Sorry, guys. Jessica Jones, haven't watched it either. Luke Cage, I think I watched this passively a couple of times, but I don't remember any of it. Iron Fist, I haven't watched either. I've heard it's bad. I don't know if it's bad, but I've heard it's bad. Punisher, I want to watch this. I actually do want to watch this. I love John Bernthal as an actor, and I think he's great in everything he does, but unfortunately I haven't watched The Punisher. X-Men, I do not remember these first two movies, if I'm being completely honest, but should I even rank them? I don't have enough memory to rank them, honestly. I believe this is X-Men The Last Stand. I remember not liking this at all. I remember this being like underwhelming, cheesy, and a misstep for X-Men. I'm just gonna put it in D tier, honestly. X-Men First Class, however, is really great. I really dig this movie. And I honestly need to rewatch all of these X-Men movies because I haven't watched them since I think I first watched them, and I think I rewatched them like one more time. But X-Men First Class was really great. Dude, I remember it being really great, but I don't know if I have enough memory to actually rank it. But I'm gonna rank it anyways because I really like this movie. I'm going to put it at a comfortable A tier. I would probably put it above Iron Man and Deadpool and Wolverine. It can sit there. You can sit right there. X-Men Days of Future Past. Now this one is probably the peak, or the second peak rather of, or the first peak. I mean of Fox's X-Men verse. I really love this movie, and honestly, I think it's deserving of S tier. From what I remember of it, it's kind of a Winter Soldier and Civil War situation, but kind of backwards because obviously we're gonna go to Logan. But I'm comfortable with putting Days of Future Past at A tier, top of A tier. Apocalypse. I remember not liking Apocalypse that much, but I don't remember enough about it to rank it, honestly. And I've never seen Dark Phoenix. X-Men Origins Wolverine. I'm not even going to talk about this movie. It's going in fucking F tier. The Wolverine. I really wish I could rank this, but I can't. In good faith, I cannot. Because I do not remember enough about the Wolverine to rank it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. I wish I could rank all these Fox movies, like, properly. I would probably even put Days of Future Past and First Class in different spots, but I truly cannot rank these. I'm sorry. Logan, however, I can rank very properly and very highly. I think I will put it right there, just based off of personal opinion. I love Logan. Logan is fucking insane. Logan is really great. I mean, everyone has already talked about it. Everyone's talked about everything that happens in this movie in a great way, because this movie deserves its flowers, and it's getting all the flowers. Like, this film is great. Like, it's super compelling. It's such a tragic but sort of bittersweet ending to the Fox verse. Yeah, it's really something. I love Logan. I really love Logan. But yeah, as I said, everyone's already talked about it, and I'm not really gonna add much to the conversation. It's a great movie. It's a great superhero movie. It's a great send off to the character. Slash not send off, but send off. The first Deadpool. Now, I think this movie has aged pretty poorly. It was the first, I believe, R-rated movie of R-rated superhero movie, or Marvel movie at least. First R-rated Marvel movie. I think. Don't quote me on that. This was good for its time, but I think it's aged pretty poorly. Right now, I think I would put it at a C tier. Probably below Fantastic Four, but above Multiverse of Madness. I think I would put it right there. I don't have that much to say about it, but it just I don't think it's aged that well. I think the same could be said for Deadpool 2. Although it's a little funnier, and I like Josh Brolin as Cable. He's really sick. I like the plot of this movie a lot more than Deadpool 1. I like the time travel aspects. That's pretty sick. But yeah, again, it's kind of run of the mill, a little better than Deadpool. I would put it in B tier. In my opinion. I'm gonna put it above Captain America, above Age of Ultron, above Homecoming, probably. Right below Iron Man 3, right there. The New Mutants, I haven't watched it. I'm not really interested in watching it, but I haven't watched it. Legion, I haven't watched it. I haven't watched this, I haven't watched it, I haven't watched it, I haven't watched it. This, I haven't watched either. But, yeah, I haven't watched it. Spider-Man 1. It's interesting that these are on here because this is technically, well, not technically, this isn't part of the MCU. Well, I mean, it kind of is, but not really. But yeah, I'm gonna rank it anyways because it's on this list. As Luigi wished. Spider-Man 1. I really love this movie. This movie has such a special place in my heart. It's so hearty. It's the quintessential origin story. Willem Dafoe is fucking electric as the Green Goblin, and Tobey Maguire does such a great job in this movie. Apart from what the public might think, I actually don't mind Mary Jane's character when it comes to the first. Actually, no, just the first movie. I don't mind Mary Jane's character in the first movie. She's not a bad love interest, and it gives Peter a good reason to keep sort of fighting. I think this is a really, really great movie. I will always hold this movie in such a high regard, and I'm comfortable with putting it in S tier. Honestly, I don't even know if I want to say that the S tier is ranked, because the first 4 could be at the very top of this list, honestly. The first 3 to 4 could be at the very top of this list. Spider-Man 2 is actually not my favorite of the Tobey Maguire trilogy. And I've debated that for a long time, but I think I like the first one personally better. Although this is still great. Don't get me wrong. The Spider-Man 2 is really, really great. It's cheesy in a good way. It's charismatic. It's hearty. Has a great villain. Alfred Molina does a great job. Has a great ending. I love the final battle. I love the sort of confirmation and reveal that Mary Jane now knows who Peter Parker really is. I love the plot points that play out throughout this film. I love Harry's descent, and how that's kind of teased for the third movie. It's great. It's still great. I actually don't know if I would put it in S tier, surprisingly, because we have such amazing movies at A tier, but I think I would put it right here. I think that's where I would put it. Actually, I don't know. Actually, I think I would put it right there, honestly. Spider-Man 3. I like this movie, and I will defend it until the day I die. I like this movie. I don't absolutely love it. It's iconic, and quotes are stuck in my head from this movie, and scenes are so utterly memorable from this movie, and you can't deny that. no matter how much you might hate this film, you cannot deny that there are scenes in here that like are just instantly like in your head when you think of this movie. And it's very cheesy, very funny. I don't like Venom. I never have. In this movie, I like Venom as a character, but I don't like Venom in this movie. Which is to be expected, as I'm pretty sure he was forced in the movie by the production studio, by Sony. Sam Raimi, I think, originally was just gonna do Sandman, or Harry as a villain, or maybe both. But yeah, this film tries to juggle a lot, and it doesn't stick the landing by any means necessary, but it is definitely a very funny, very iconic, very campy, very cheesy sort of movie, and I think it makes it's all the better for it, in my opinion. And I would gladly put this above Far From Home, or No Way Home rather. Well, Far From Home too. I'm gonna put it right under Iron Man 1. Honestly, like I love Spider-Man 3 for my own reasons. Like, and I think everyone should love this movie for their own reasons. This movie doesn't take itself seriously enough for you to really hate it. But it's great. It's great. The Amazing Spider-Man 1. I'm not crazy about this, honestly. I really am not crazy about this. I like Andrew Garfield probably the best out of all Spider-Men. As a character, but I don't think either of these films are written that great. The Lizard as a villain is really not compelling. I thought his plan was stupid. And he didn't really sell me as a huge threat to Peter. Although he did injure him a good amount of times, like I didn't really feel a looming threat with the Lizard. And I don't think it's that like amazing of a villain to start what was supposed to be like a huge franchise for Sony. Because the Lizard is such a villain of the week for me. I don't think he was ever going to be like this huge Spider-Man villain. Like he's such a whatever villain of the week type of thing. But yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 1 has some nice things about it. Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone's chemistry is obviously amazing. I mean, Emma Stone does a great job as Gwen Stacy. But I think this film is okay. It's not amazing by any means necessary, but I think it's okay. And the origin story parts of it are actually pretty cool, and I think I would put it above Fantastic Four, honestly. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. This is so tragic. It's so tragic because I think this film had a lot of potential that it did not meet whatsoever. The suit, Spider-Man's suit in this film is literally ripped right out of a comic book. It is amazing how this suit looks in this movie, and they wasted it on such a terribly written movie. Jamie Foxx, I like Jamie Foxx as an actor, but he was not the guy to play Electro. I'm sorry, I really do not like Electro in this movie, and I like Harry Osborn and the Green Goblin even less. I forget, Dane DeHaan, something like that. That's the actor's name, right? I'm pretty sure. Dane DeHaan. That sounds right. I'm not sure. This movie's a mess. This movie's a huge mess. And it tries to juggle even more than Spider-Man 3, and it falls flat even further. In not funny, not campy sort of way. The least a Spider-Man movie has to do is to be hearty and memorable and inspiring, but I don't think this movie is that, really. Once again, I love Andrew Garfield as this character, and I like Emma Stone. I like Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy, but I just think they're put in the wrong movie. Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield are both great, But again, they're put in the wrong movie, and I'm putting this in the top of D tier. I'm comfortable with that. Into the Spider-Verse. It's not fair to put these. It's not fair to put the Spider-Verse movies in here because they are washing most of these films out of the goddamn water. Like, this movie is so hearty. It's such a great origin story. It knows what it is. It's meta. It makes fun of Spider-Man. It's awesome. It's awesome. I love this movie, and honestly, it's timeless. I think this movie is timeless. Honestly, this is obviously going into S tier. It's better than Spider-Man 1, definitely. I actually think I ranked Spider-Man 1 a little too high. I would put it right there, right under Winter Soldier. Into the Spider-Verse is really, really great. I think it washes most of these movies out of the water, and honestly, it could be at the very, 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 very top. And I think I'm gonna put Guardians over Infinity War. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I might put Logan over Infinity War too. Shit, dude. Shit. Yeah, I think that's how I'm gonna keep it for now. But Across the Spider-Verse is also gonna share that spot right with Into the Spider-Verse. I don't think I could, in my right mind, put it above Into the Spider-Verse because it's not a complete movie, and we have yet to see Beyond the Spider-Verse. If we did get to see Beyond the Spider-Verse, in the original planned release date, I would rank it right alongside Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse, my bad, because I mean they truly will be one movie, because Across the Spider-Verse doesn't have an ending. It doesn't have a conclusion. It just kind of the runtime stops, but there's no ending. It's a like one of the biggest cliffhangers in cinema history. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But I think Across the Spider-Verse is even better in terms of quality than Into the Spider-Verse. I love the spot. I love the meta commentary with the spot. I love the voice acting in the movie. I forget Miles Morales' voice actor's name, but he's obviously great. Haley Steinfeld, I believe, is who plays Gwen Stacy, is great. I don't actually know who voice acts for Spot, but he's amazing as well. And all of the multiverse type of stuff was handled really, really well. I love Miles's character arc throughout this movie. I love the twist at the end that he's in the wrong universe. I love it. I love it all. It's written so well. It's such a tight but also grand story at the same time. It really could make for a perfect movie once we get the final conclusion. Once we get to the conclusion of this trilogy. But yeah, I got nothing else to say, because I'm so looking forward to Beyond the Spider-Verse, and I hope it's good. Despite all the delays, despite all the controversy that's been surrounding it, I really hope it's good. It's time to get to the Venom movies. I believe I have watched Let There Be Carnage like one time offhand, but I can't rank it, honestly. I don't remember. And I haven't watched The Last Dance. I have watched the first Venom though, and it's okay. It's not anything amazing. I mean, I don't know if you can make a Venom anything more than okay. But I don't have much to say about it either. I'm gonna put it. I don't think I would put it in D tier. I would put it above Ant-Man and Thor and Far From Home. I'm gonna put it right there. Honestly, I'll put it above Multiverse of Madness too. Why not? And Deadpool. Yeah, I'll put it right here. That's fine right there. Morbius is the best movie of all time, obviously, but no, this shit's going in after it. It's honestly not even worse than X-Men Origins Wolverine though. That's like the worst movie on here by far. I think I spoke too soon, but I haven't watched it, luckily. So I've sort of spared myself the pleasure of viewing Madam Web, because I've heard things about this movie. I've heard the terrible things about this movie. I haven't watched Craven. Yeah, I haven't watched Craven. That's all I can say. Fantastic Four. Oh, look at this. The original Fantastic Fours. These are pretty good movies. I like their campiness. I like their charm. They know what they are. They're solid. I'm gonna put them at the bottom of B tier, both of them, because I think both of them are pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. They're both pretty much the same in quality for me, and I don't really have any major complaints about them. The actors are great, playing the Fantastic Four, and they're really charming, campy movies, in my opinion. I don't have much more to say. Fant Four Stick. Never mind. I think this is the worst movie on here, honestly. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with this, other than say that again, I guess. I guess that's all you can say about this. The Thing looks horrible in this movie. I don't know why they made him naked. The suit designs in general are ugly. This movie looks ugly. Doctor Doom looks ugly, if you can even call him Doctor Doom. He looks ugly as shit. The special effects are ugly. The color grading is ugly. Everything about this movie is so ugly. I think they tried to replicate the X-Men Fox sort of style with Fantastic Four, but they didn't even replicate that in a good way. And it really fell flat. Obviously, this movie is fucking horrible and one of the biggest tragedies on this list. Huge miscasts too. I think Miles Teller can make for an okay young Reed Richards, but I don't know if he's the first choice that I would make. Michael B. Jordan is super out of place here, I think. I don't know if he would really sell me as a Johnny Storm. And I forget her name, but Sue Storm's actress actually did a good job. I think she was okay in this movie. She's not bad, and I don't remember who plays the Thing, but it doesn't matter. This movie is a mess. It's horrible, and everyone involved should forget that they made this movie. Honestly. I've watched, I think, the first Blade, but I don't remember it enough to even rank. So I'm not going to rank these. Ghost Rider. Oh my lord, I can't believe this is on here. I haven't watched the second one, unfortunately, but I owned Ghost Rider on DVD, and I don't care what anyone says. This film is a fucking blast. This is the most campy and funny and like ironically good movie on this list, probably. Nicolas Cage is being Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider, and I think I'm genuinely putting it at like a B tier. This movie is so funny to me. Like, there just imagining the scenes, like when Nicolas Cage is riding on his motorcycle and he's turning into Ghost Rider. It's just the funniest shit, with all his facial expressions and his yells. Like, this is the funniest movie on here, probably, ironically and or unironically. They could be geniuses that just wanted to make the campiest superhero movie possible. But I'm proudly putting that at the bottom of B tier, honestly. I haven't watched this Hulk movie. I haven't watched it. Daredevil, Elektra, The Punisher I haven't watched, unfortunately. Punisher, no. I haven't watched Inhumans. I didn't even know they made that. Cloak and Dagger, I haven't watched that. I didn't even know they made that either. Yeah, and everything else here I haven't watched. So yeah, that's the full list. Let me get a better view of this. Yeah, that's the full list right here. Let me just quickly look through the tiers. I think S tier is fine as is. A tier looks good. Looks good. I think that's fine. I actually think I would put Far From Home a little lower, or not Far From No Way Home a little lower. Yeah, I'm putting that slightly above. Nah, I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm keeping it there. Oh, I think I should lower Moon Knight a little. That's fine. Just a little bit. That's fine. And yeah, the rest can stay like that. Yeah, that's my list. If you guys have any opinions, any disagreements, any agreements about this tier list, make sure to comment them down below. I hope you enjoyed this more like casual, very, very long form sort of video. It's my first time trying it because I prefer like the more edited video essays and movie reviews and stuff like that. And as you guys can see, I'm not like deep into Marvel, but I just like what I like. I like the older Spider-Man movies. I like all of these movies in this tier. Anything that stands out to me, I'll watch. I won't watch absolutely everything that Marvel puts out because not all of it interests me, and that's just the truth. But yeah, I might make a sort of remastered version of this list later on, if I manage to rewatch all of these movies, because a lot of these opinions are from memory. But yeah, that is my list. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in whatever I do next. Goodbye.